Hello everyone, welcome back to Mango Goblin. I'm Trix, of course, and hello if you've just joined me today. We're going to continue our series on Spelljammer, and of course we're still on chapter 3 with all the races. Yeah, there's a lot of races, and I'm including the races from the other books, as I've said, just to keep the races in one set of videos, like we don't have to have breaks of things with videos with races. So, starting, we have the Anadian Halfling. The Anadians are, or the Anadian Halfling should I say, are beings of very much extremes. So if they love something, they'll love it completely, and if they hate something, they'll abhor it completely. They have very extremist attitudes, and they are about just over a meter tall. They have almost jet black skin, their eyes and hair are extremely dark coloured, their clothing is usually contrasting to this, as white or light colours that reflect the sun's intensity away from the skin. The Anadian Halflings have their own tongue, which is similar to Common, which means that they can understand and speak enough of Common, or they have enough loan words to understand each other, and you can basically get on with them. I would say this though, Anadian Halflings only live in the top and the bottom halves of the polar regions of Anadia. We're going to look at the other race on Anadia in a moment, but that's most important. You see the top ones in the Anadians. The northern Anadians hate anything that doesn't contribute to the law and order of their community, and the southern ones don't like anyone that's not part of their family unit. So the northern ones, the northern Anadian Halflings hate anything that doesn't contribute to the law and order of their community, whereas the southern ones hate anything that's not part of their family unit. That makes them very insular. Halfling countries in the northern polar have about 10 to 30 villages, with each village containing about 50 to 500 halflings. There are a total 13 counties in the northern part of Anadia that are their halflings. For every 30 halflings, there are 2 decent fighters and a priest. Every county contains at least 5, a higher level fighter and high level priest. The main government consists of 39 men and women who are a mixture of fighters and priests. This group of halflings ensures that the country governments are not passing laws that could limit the freedoms of the people in any way. The southern ones have no government, basically. They're a single family able to take control from the ruling family. Basically, if a family dominates another family, that family becomes the one in charge. This creates complete anarchy in many areas because no family is able to maintain control over an area for a certain amount of time. This also means the southern halflings have a very short lifespan, as they're constantly stabbing each other in the back and trying to get power. The life expectancy is only about 25 years. The southern polarite puts a lot of emphasis on women, and I'm not going to repeat what it says here because second ed had some rather, let's say, uncomfortable law. Let's just put it like that. But they do put a lot of emphasis on the family unit and on women at the time. So, if I was going to play Anadian Halflings, I would probably alter the Kenda rules that are out. I think that there are some Kenda rules for 5th edition. I'm not 100% on that because I'm not really interested in Dragonlance because I got really put off by it. Well, going down from that, we're looking at the Anadjiins themselves. The Anadjiins are a vicious predator, obviously coming from Anadia. They're in the realm space solar system. They're kind of humanoid, although they look reptilian, which deflects their hide deflects a lot of weapons. The top Anadian has head. He has a spiny crest which looks similar to a Stegosaurus dinosaur. This crest has an abundance of small blood vessels which allow the teacher to cool off in the hottest of environments. This crest also disables the creature's ability to survive. This crest also disables the ability to survive in colder climates, so they stay away from the northern and southern polar regions where the crazy halflings live. The Anadian has 2 insect-like eyes on the side of its head. and the positioning allows the creature to see in a 360-degree arc at all times. The brain of the Anadjiin is so complex it's able to assimilate all the information received as well as react to it. Its mouth is unusual. It sits vertically on its face instead of horizontally. They're aligned vertically. The teeth are aligned vertically as well, and they're very sharp. Once the creature has a hold of the victim, there's no way to force it out of its mouth, short of killing the creature, the Anadian. Even then, the jaw must be broken before the hold is released. The chin, instead of being under the mouth, is split in two, with a cleft on either side of the mouth. They have a tail, which it uses to stabilise itself. Should it ever be pushed or lose balance, the tail is never used as a weapon though. Each of the Anadjiin's hands is layered with 6-inch long claws, which it prefers to use these claws as slicing weapons, attacking with each hand every round. The claws act as though they were blades of sharpness, so use some sort of like bladed fist weapon maybe in 5th. Anyone attacked by them suffers an additional hit point of damage per wound until their wounds are bound or healed. So maybe something with a bleeding effect, maybe not. They're lawful neutral. The halflings though, well, they can probably be... It doesn't say. It doesn't say what alignment they are. It just says they're highly intelligent. But there we go. So when you meet an Anadjiin, they prefer to hunt during the day because it can't see in the dark at all. It's got no dark vision. It hides and sleeps during the night. When it does attack, it uses its speed and agility to get advantage. It will always attack with a bite after its claws. If it's successful, if it does not release hold until the opponent is dead, it flails wildly at the abdomen and the prey, so it will scratch you while it's biting onto you. If there are multiple targets, the Anadjiin still uses its bite attack, but does not hold on. Its genius intelligence knows that its stupid fighting like that is the sure way to die. Instead, the Anadjiin moves around, attacking mostly one target, usually the weakness, or the weakest, until it falls. At that point, it tries to scare the rest of the targets away so it can carry the prey back to its lair. It's a very caring parent and mate, and it's ready to fight to the death to protect its young. In times when food is scarce, are known to kill and eat their young though, to keep them from feeling the pain of starvation. Family units often work together to find food, but they never fight amongst themselves. Whenever prey is found, each realises the amount of effort put forth and demands a share of equal to that. This relationship, which is quite unique to the predators, is one reason that the Anadjiin is quite well respected. Besides their own language, it's unknown if they are able to speak anything else. No one has stayed long around them to find out, basically. When hunting, the Anadjiin is very understanding of nature and will never exclusively hunt prey to extinction. It feels a strong bond with the nature itself, so maybe if you wanted to run them now, run them as a druid, if you wanted to play one as a character. They hunt humans when they're transported to other planets, but they don't hunt humans on Anadia. They do prey on the halflings and umberhulks on Anadia though. Anadia itself, as you might have guessed, is a very deserty planet. It's something we'll come back to at another time. They don't really have a government. They're not really unified except their planetary, their family units rather. And they're lawfully neutral, which is pretty much, again, this is one of those races where if they're not actively murdering someone, they're not evil. But I understand it from the Anadjiins. After that, we're going to look at something called an Ancient Mariner. An Ancient Mariner is an undead spirit of a long-lost evil race that once sailed the Phlogiston seas. It's basically humanoid in appearance. Its neck is a bit long and twisted. Its torso is somewhat compressed compared to those of humans. So imagine a short torso with a rather long neck. The eyes and the jaw bulge out of its face, so it's quite unnatural looking. Its voice is kind of croaky and quavy, as if it's been heard from a long way away. The Ancient Mariner is partially transparent, so it's see-through partly. It is seen during wearing bright clothing, normally associated with pirates and buccaneers. It appears as it did on the day it died, so causing each to be rather unique. This may mean an eye, patch, scars, wooden peg legs, typical pirate gear. While the mariner might carry a weapon of any type, this is also ghostly and can't cause any damage. It uses chill touch to inflict damage, and they can be turned as rites by priests. Like basically, if you use turn undead, they're immune to sleep, charm, hold, and cold-based spells as well. They're immune to any kind of mind control. They can be hit by only magical weapons. Any creature killed becomes a mariner itself, with most of the abilities of a normal shadow. The newly formed undead obeys the ancient mariner completely, so you could have like a ghost crew with an ancient mariner as a captain and rather people he's killed. They're only found in the Phlogiston. They'll not enter any spheres. They need the Phlogiston to power their various ghost vessels, as he said. If you can do one on a ship. If more than one is encountered, one of them is the leader and called by its crew. This leader has additional dice and is basically a wraith. Ancient mariners always encountered with the crew of 1d20 shadows, a mixture of different races. Some large ships have been known to have large crews of shadows. If the captain is turned, he orders the ship to break off combat and flees. The greatest power is to make any object become instantial as the mariner itself. This power requires the captain to touch the object and concentrate for a turn. Once the object is changed, the mariner or shadow can handle it. This is the way treasure hoards of ancient mariners are increased. So basically they'll go into a ship and touch the treasure and loot it after basically draining people. They can have various ships, but turning one into a ghost vessel takes an entire day. They prefer human ships and ships such as traditional pirate vessels such as galleons, hammer ships and caravels. Part of its energy is given to the ship, which makes the vessel again ghostly, transparent, and feels it. It moves as if it's powered by a spellcaster basically. It becomes immune to physical damage or magical attacks. It has no physical substance and can phase through other objects. It holds no air. The deckhands appear to walk normally on it, swarming up the rigging. The captain can maintain only one ship at a time in a fashion, although it can release a ship from its powers and turn another one. If they're all killed, the shadows vanish instantly, becoming truly dead. The ghost ship becomes solid and can be boarded and searched. There's a 50% chance that the helm is still usable, only if the captain is killed. The ancient mariner with the highest hit points basically becomes the new captain. They're basically treated as undead and don't seem to be tied to a place or person. They can roam freely in the Phlogiston and trade ships at will. The original race of ancient mariners is long gone, since they look like no race in the crystal spheres. There we go, and that's from the Monstrous Compendium Spelljammer Index. The other one, the Anadjiins and the Anadian Halflings, were from the original Book of the Void, according to my information. So that's it, that's 3 races we've done, and that's it for TTRPG Tuesday. I do have a game that someone's PDF that someone sent me for review, so we'll be looking at that possibly later on in the week or next week, so stay tuned for that. Thank you everyone for watching. Do take care of yourselves, and bye bye.